Hey guys, it's Kiara, and if you have read the title correctly, yes, I'm going to be explaining my experience at the amazing Walker Stalker Convention in Atlanta that I went to on October 18th. From very high demand, a bunch of people wanted me to tell the story from before I even got noticed up to that day, so I will. It'll probably take a little while, but that's what you guys wanted, so here it is. Warning and disclaimer, this video might be extremely long, so if you want to skip into some parts, I might leave some little quotes here in the corner so that you can click on them, or you can just skip ahead if you would like to, and make this easier for yourself if you don't want to watch the whole thing. You're welcome. And I'm going to start off with why I made my account. I was in school one day and a bunch of people were just talking about how this old man died, and it was like, an old man died? How? Okay. And then they told me it was because of The Walking Dead, and I was just like, wow guys, what if I wanted to watch that show and you guys just spoiled it for me? And then they're like,
it's on Netflix, alright, so you can just watch it there.
So they were telling me a bunch of spoilers, and I was like, oh my gosh, that sounds so good, I gotta watch it. And I looked up The Walking Dead and I watched the first season, and I was just like, Rick Grimes. Yes, Rick Grimes. I could probably watch you for a few more seasons. But then as I got to the second season, I was just like, wow, this show is amazing. It would just come to the point where after school I would just sit there with my tablet and watch all the episodes up until like midnight, and this was on like school days also, so I didn't even stop to do my homework. This happened for about 2 weeks until I caught up eventually, so it was a nice run. I was just looking at the characters and I was just admiring them on. I was just like, oh my goodness, Daryl's my favorite, Rick is my favorite, Michonne and Carl. I just started looking up pictures of them and them at conventions and stuff, like, you know, normal fangirls do, I guess. And as I started looking these pictures up, I was just like, oh my gosh, this Carl kid is really cute. Let me see what he's up to. So I was trying to look for like backgrounds and stuff for The Walking Dead, so I just started looking up pictures of Chandler, and I saw all these amazing fan pages, and I saw the funny captions and all these selfies and how people were able to express themselves through that account. There was this one account in particular that got me really inspired to do my fan account, and that was Cameron. Hi Cameron. I was just so in awe of this type of acknowledgement and this type of support for the show and the characters. So I said, you know what, why not? So that is where, oh my god, Chandler came from. Around this time, I had made my account at February 15th. And surprisingly, after I opened up my fan page, Chandler started using his Instagram too. So it was cool for him to keep up with us fans also. As that happened, he started noticing a bunch of accounts and he started commenting on people's pictures, and this was just like a whole rave type thing going on where everyone was just going crazy whenever he liked someone's photo. I had the account for about 6 months without him noticing me once, like not even a like on a photo or a comment. So I was just like, when is he gonna notice me? A lot of my friends were getting noticed by him, and I was like, yeah, darn it, what am I doing wrong? Trial and error over and over again. Just the pattern of him just not noticing me. He started making an Ask a Femme account, which is a page where you get to anonymously send in questions to people, and then they answer them. When I saw that, I was just like, wow, this is another opportunity to get noticed. Why not try it out? So I sent him a drawing that I had did of him, a link to it for Instagram, and I kind of spammed him so that he could see, because he was getting a lot of questions at the time. And from me spamming him, he got to see it, and oh my gosh, the notification when I saw it was just like, my goodness. That was the first time he actually acknowledged something that I did, like one of my talents or hobbies. But from that first like, without me even tagging him in anything, because he's a very popular page, so he has a lot of followers too, so he has a lot of fans tagging him in comments and in photos and stuff. So without me even tagging him in any photos, he'd like my stuff, and I'm just there like, how is that even possible? So I decided to get my best friend into the show also, and she eventually ended up going in the flow with it. She liked the show, and what better is it to have your best friend and you be into like the same people and the same characters in the same show? It's pretty amazing. And we found out there was a convention to meet all the cast members, and we were just planning ahead. we weren't asking our parents. We were just thinking, oh, what if we went and what would we give them? What type of presents would we give them and how would they react? That type of stuff. Any normal thing that best friends would do, you know? And we started planning. When we told our parents, it was, they accepted it. And they were up for it. They wanted to go to Atlanta to meet the cast. They wanted to see us happy. Hard troubles came in and she wasn't able to take me anymore. And I had told everyone from my fan page that I would be going, and a bunch of people were expecting me to go too. One day my mom decided to invite my cousins over, you know, just for like a dinner, just to have them over because we hadn't seen them in a while. My cousins were 3 girls, the youngest being 11 and the oldest being 17. So they're in my room and then they look on my phone and then I forgot to sign out of Oh My God Chandler. So they all saw the pictures that I had of Carl and they were just like,
what page is it?
And I was just like,
I don't know.
And then they look closer and they're like,
oh, is that Carl from Walking
and
Dead?
I was like,
You watch the show?
And they said,
oh my goodness, yes, we love the show. We watch it every Sunday night.
And I was just like, no way, that is the coolest thing ever, no! Ah! Because it's really hard to find people that actually like the show here. There's barely anyone that likes the show here, which is weird because #1 TV show. And eventually I brought up the conversation that there would be a convention in Atlanta. And they were really excited about it and I didn't think they were serious. I was just telling them about it, how cool it would be. And then they went to their parents and they asked and they were up for it. They were ready to buy the tickets at that spot. Notice that this is my first time ever leaving the state, me ever meeting a celebrity, so it's a lot in one. Just at that moment when you realize that you're going, it is incredible. You can't explain it. Your heart just stops and your mind just doesn't process things anymore. It's crazy. And at this moment I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to meet Chandler Riggs. I'm going to see him in real life and he's going to be right in front of me. And I'm going to meet Norman Reedus and Andrew Lincoln and all these amazing stars. I started thinking to myself, what can I do for Chandler that can also involve the people from Oh My God Chandler, my fan page? The idea that popped up in my head was the unknown scrapbook. Basically what the scrapbook was to remind Chandler how much his fans appreciate him and love him, because at that time he was kind of going through a rough time, you know, not seeing his girlfriend, he was getting a lot of hate, and I just wanted to cheer him up and make him feel a little bit better. And for me, I thought it would be a good idea to involve people that are living in the United States, because Chandler doesn't usually travel to Europe or Australia or any of those countries. But this scrapbook, I'm telling you, was a hassle. It was so much to just put everybody's messages in that one little book. I gave everyone 3 weeks to turn in something. No one was really using their accounts as much and everyone was being really inactive. None of the pages were being filled. And I was just thinking to myself, oh my gosh, my idea is becoming a failure. I just wanted to add some creativity in there, something unique, something that just popped out at you, something with color and visuals. But at that time I wasn't thinking of anything because I didn't have enough people to send me edits, their drawings, poems, photos, fan signs, anything, but nobody at all. As the days started getting closer and closer, more people started volunteering and participating, and then I just started getting bombarded with all these messages and all these notes for Chandler. Oh my gosh, all these people! But since they turned in everything last minute, I only had 3 days to finish the entire thing. That had to be the most stressful week of my entire life. I even had to miss school twice. And even the days when I didn't miss school, I went straight home, straight to the book, and I'd try to finish it up, and I'd end up staying up until 12 in the morning to finish it because everyone was sending in late entries. And from going to empty pages to stuffing all these pages with all these notes, trying to fit everything in there, was, to me, absolutely incredible, but also very stressful. I wasn't sleeping and I wasn't getting good grades at that time just because of me not being able to stay awake in class or to concentrate. But I just thought about how disappointed everyone would be if I didn't complete. I wanted to make the experience worthwhile and I wanted to make him happy. I thought, why not give him the drawing that he saw in Ask a Femme that I spammed the link to him with. At the same time, I had a drawing for Norman Reedus, which is Daryl Dixon, and for Andrew Lincoln, which is Rick Grimes. Then it comes and my cousins just drive up to my house with a 12-seater van. We got there at 5 a.m.
God, I can't believe I'm in Atlanta. This glare is terrible, but I can't put the window down. Oh my gosh.
Atlanta was just gorgeous. Like at night, you just saw the buildings. Even at night, even at 5 a.m., you just saw these buildings lit with like these lights, and then there's like little hills on the road. You don't even know where anything is. You're in another state. And a state that they film and you're just like, oh my gosh, that's where they filmed this area. Oh my gosh, that's where they filmed this area. Oh my gosh, this is the highway where, oh my Lord, Jesus, this is like crazy. You just saw all these people walking around in Walker costumes with all these like prosthetics and just dripping, and they just look so awesome. I felt like I was in the show for a second. And you just see everyone going into like the same entrance, and I'm like, oh my god, that's Walker Stalker. And I was already dressed with what I was gonna go with. I didn't want to look dead either, so I like put like eyeliner on. I felt like I was in another world. Just to know that you're in a room full of all these people that love the show as much as you do, it's really cool. And when I walked inside, there were just a bunch of these stands with people that drew caricatures of you, with amazing paintings of the cast members. You walk around, they had like souvenirs for your cell phones and a bunch of cute clothings too. A lot of The Walking Dead merch and comics, and they had the little action figures. It was really cool. It was amazing. Just the ultimate Walking Dead world. You just want to buy the entire place. And there was a big screen with just Carl Papa playing in the background. Now that was awesome. So I walked in and they gave me this pamphlet for the convention, and I looked in there and I was trying to figure out what time Chandler came out so that I could see him, like, first and foremost. So then I saw the time, and it was around 10:30, and it said that he came out at 11:30. Let me go in someone else's line while I wait for Chandler. So I go to Michael Rooker's line, and I'm waiting there, and the line doesn't even budge.
A little tip for people that are planning to go to the Walker Stalker Con: do not expect to meet more than 3 people if you buy general admission tickets.
They will let all the VIP members go in front of you, and you will just stay there for an eternity. And no, it was just terrible, just waiting there.
You see the star right in front of you, and hello, you just want to say hi to them, and you just want to hold them and be like, oh my god, I love you so much, you are amazing. They're right in front of you, and you don't even budge in the line because you're general admission.
And it's not there. I've seen you on TV, you're awesome. I can't believe you died, but you haven't really died, but you're there, and this is surreal. Am I dead? Am I in heaven? Ursula, is that you? And whenever people scream, that means celebrities nearby. So I would look and I'd see Scott Wilson coming by, Laurie Holden, Andrew J. West was a babe. Woo! And then I heard people screaming, and I was just like,
you know what, whatever. I'm just like so tired of waiting here. I want to take a picture with Michael Rooker already.
All of a sudden, I see my mom screaming to the top of her lungs, waving her hands up in the air, just there like, trying to get my attention. And I look and I finally notice her, and I see her like dying, like pointing over to her left. I was just like, and then I see her mouth out the word, and I was like, oh my gosh, no way, are you sure? And she's like, yeah, I know what he looks like, are you kidding me? I was just standing in Michael's line just hoping that it would move so that I could take a picture with him and then run over to Chandler's line before he left for photo ops. Mom told me that my dad saved a spot for me in the line. So I was just like, okay, until I meet Michael, I'll take over my dad's spot that he's saving for me. The line didn't budge. If I hadn't moved, I would still be in the back of that freaking line, Jesus. About 15 minutes passed and my mom runs over to me and she's like, it's almost your dad's turn. When are you gonna meet this guy? And then I was just like, no way, it's almost his turn? And she's like, yes. And she hands me my portrait of him that I drew and the scrapbooks. I was just like, you know what? Forget this line, I gotta meet Chandler. So I run over to my dad and he gets out of the spot and I see Chandler. Wow, there he is right in front of you. And he's an actual person and he's going to notice you, and this time for real. When I saw him, it just felt like a dream. Like it wasn't happening. And the photos do not compare to what he actually looks like in person. He is 1,000 times better, more phenomenal. He is gorgeous. He is wow. Wow. Meanwhile, I hear a bunch of people behind me saying,
"Is that the girl with the scrapbook? Is that the girl with the Instagram? Is that, oh my god, Chandler. I recognize that hair right there."
Just a bunch of girls talking behind me. And I'm like,
if you know me, say hello, please! I love saying hello to people. I love greeting people. And it would have been awesome too to run into people that were familiar with me.
I just heard a lot of that, but I didn't want to just turn around and be like, "Hi, are you saying something about me?" In my fan page, everyone was just going berserk with all the pictures I was already posting of the convention, although they had told me not to, but I took pictures anyway. And next thing I knew, I was the first in line, and I look up at him and he's already looking at me and he smiles, and I'm just like, "Hi," and then he goes, "Hey." Because nobody was moving in the line, like no one from the VIP section and no one from the general admission. And then I look over at his mom and I'm just like,
"Do I go? Is it my turn?"
She's like, "Yeah, sure, come on, go ahead." Before I went over to Chandler, I greeted Gina, I said hi, and I also said hi to Grayson. He was so adorable, and he was really quiet too. I went over to Chandler, and I wasn't really sure how to approach him, so I just threw up the "Hey, how are you" type thing. Like, "What's up, Chandler? I know you, but you probably don't know me." And meanwhile, I was recording undercover, but I couldn't get that much. I couldn't get that much of his face or his reaction, but I tried because they were all up under my nose trying to get people to stop recording and stuff. You wanna know what he says? You wanna know what he does? Roll the clip.
Alright, how's it going, Kiara?
Oh my god, you know my name.
Yeah, you've had a long day, haven't you?
What? Wait, hold up, rewind, what, pause, stop. Girl, he knows you. He knows your name. He knows what you look like. He knew what you were gonna give to him. Snap. But wait. Play again. What does mama say?
I'm like kind of like freaking out now.
Yeah, it's Kiara. Yeah.
Really? You knew about it?
Oh yeah.
Remember when I said I was trying to stay calm? That little calmness just exploded. Like it just went, "Forget being calm, girl. He knows you. Fangirl. What?" And then when he saw the drawing, roll the clip.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
scrapbook and everything.
Wow, yeah, it took me a while to make it. Like
Awesome.
I even missed
Great.
it.
Very cool. So awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And this is for you to keep. I think you, yeah.
That's so awesome.
Did you see his mom's face? She was so surprised. If you didn't rewind, scroll back, look closely, because she was in complete and utter shock. She was so surprised at my art, and that actually made me feel really nice inside, because that means I did a good job. And to be honest with you, if I hadn't recorded everything that happened, I probably wouldn't have remembered anything because of how excited I was and just how shocked I was. Before I was able to say goodbye to him, he stopped and he said,
You're welcome.
Here, here. There you go.
Thank you so much, Chandler.
Thank you so much. Great to meet you.
this is the photo. This is the photo that Chandler gave to me that he signed over here. Hopefully it's catching, because like it's not focusing properly. And his case kind of looked like ours, so thanks to signing it out to Riara Chandler, he gave me a free autograph. And normally autographs, I believe, cost $40, and I didn't have enough money to spend for that. But he did give me a free autograph, and I felt awesome because of it. And he actually did see, and he knew a lot more than what I thought. Just to go from not having any hope to this was just an amazing feeling. Never would I imagine this experience at all. And Chandler was just overall smiling and he was laughing. He was really happy. And I was really glad with the outcome and how excited he was to see me too. Photo ops, which is basically just a professional photo with a celebrity. The whole thing was just a big cluster of people just standing everywhere. So I ended up going all the way in the back. But someone saved me. One of my best internet friends, Jordana, aka Racing Kitty, we were on Kick and she told me that she was in the photo ops line. And I was like, wait a second, I'm in the photo ops line. Where are you? Oh my gosh. And she had came all the way from Canada. All the way from Canada to Atlanta, that's a long trip. And I saw her coming towards me. Oh my gosh, you're real. Getting the opportunity to meet one of your internet friends is just the best feeling in the entire planet. And the fact that you both are going to meet your idol at the same time. Well, how many times does that happen in life? By chance, she was in front of me and she let me step up in the line with her. We're walking in. As soon as we turned the curve to take our picture, the photographer was just like, click, go, click. That was literally him. And when it was my turn, I looked over at Chandler and I was like, hi, and he was like, hey. And Chandler held on to my waist while I had my arm around his shoulder, as you can see, and this is the final result. Bam. You can probably see like the image on Instagram, but I'm not happy with the way I came out, but who cares? And before I turned the little corner so that I can exit, he called over my name. He was like, see you later, Kiara. And I was like, see you later, Chandler. And as soon as I turned that curve, I just like spun around in circles, and I wanted to scream, but it just wouldn't come out. I just had my mouth wide open, just spinning around in a circle. He said, see you soon, see you later. So what does that mean? Someone commented saying, congrats on the Chandler follow. What? I didn't see that on my notifications. This isn't funny. That's not funny. So I look again a second time and I see one of the most amazing things in my life. Chandler Riggs 5 followed you. At that time he had followed about like 120 accounts, but out of those 120 he was only following like 12 fan accounts, and about 8 of them were fan pages for him, because the other ones were for his girlfriend or for The Walking Dead in general. So to know that I was, I think the 9th or the 8th person that he followed a fan page based off of him, I think I deserve a medal. I don't know if you guys want to know about Norman, but Norman was also very kind. He gave me chocolate. I hid it from my family members because everyone in my family loves chocolate and they cannot eat it, okay? Because I don't trust them. They'd probably eat it behind my back. But this is the chocolate that Norman Reedus Daryl Dixon gave to me. This is the one he gave me. Oh my gosh. I have not eaten it yet. It is like still a full package. Like it's not even open. The seams aren't open.
Thank you. Here, more candy.
Okay.
More candy.
Oh, thank you.
It's Lindent chocolate. That is like delicious. I am not eating this because Norman Reedus gave this to me. A whole bunch of like little things that happened with Norman put together in one little ball and just thrown at you. I met him and he saw my drawing and he was really surprised, and he gave me a free autograph and he gave me candy and he gave me the biggest hug in the entire planet, and it lasted for ages. And what? He gave me a forged Andrew Lincoln signature because he saw my drawing that I did for him that I couldn't give to him. So I asked him if he could give it to Andrew, and he said he'd give it to him.
Thank you.
Give this to Andy, right?
Thank you so much.
And he called me pretty. This was Norman's signature that he gave to me. I don't know if you can really see it because it's kind of like If not, I could just zoom it in. That's my name. He spelled it out. And that's Andrew's forged signature, and Norman's is right above here. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but it's there, guys. It's there. And my cousin told him that he was gorgeous, and this was literally him. This was literally him. Nah. Norman Reedus is the definition of perfection. He is so... And in person, he is even more flawless. He is so beautiful. He is gorgeous. Jesus, and his personality is perfect. I didn't even ask him for a hug, and he just gave it to me. He gave up his break time just to finish off everyone else that wanted to see him in line. So I thought that was really sweet of him to do, because he was supposed to leave already, but he didn't. And I'm really glad he didn't, because I would have been pissed waiting in that line for 5 hours just to see him and not give him my gifts. I wanted to see Andrew. I just had to see Andrew before I left. And I saw him just sitting there, and he was so flawless, and he was like shaved. He didn't have that beard, and he was like, well, oh my god, and he had like this black tank top, and he was speaking in this beautiful British accent. Why am I speaking like this? Let me stop. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Because I know Andy doesn't really go to that many conventions, so when I saw him there, I was in complete shock that my jaw just dropped. I couldn't even scream. I was such in awe of him. He looked... Andrew Lincoln. Wow. And I was looking at him through the side just with my mouth dropped in. I felt like I was frozen, and to my surprise, he was facing the other direction, and all of a sudden he looked over to exactly where I was, and he was looking at me. But looking at my area, but I didn't think he was looking at me, so my mouth was still dropped. And then I just see him like squint and look around the people, still looking at like my direction. I'm just like,
he's looking at me. He's looking this way.
He looks over and he squints, and then he sees me and he goes, he mimics me and he goes, looking at me, and I turn around and I look around and I go, and then he smiles and he points his finger, he goes. Before I could scream, I just like opened my mouth even wider, held my portrait, and walked the other direction because I was going to lose it. I was so nervous. He was perfection. He was like sculpted by the most beautiful angels in the highest realm of heaven. He was, but that was just, those nights when I thought about how this day would go with my best friend, it was nothing like I'd ever imagined. I'm just so proud of how far I've come. And my message for a lot of you is just keep believing. You shouldn't get mad, you shouldn't get jealous, even if it's not supposed to be in a bad way. You can't be upset over something like this. You can't be upset over someone else's happiness. You can't bash on people for meeting their idol. Chandler has a bunch of fans that are trying to get his attention too. You're not the only one. You're not the only one trying to get him to notice you and he's just ignoring you. No. He genuinely tries, and I can tell you that. There's the reason you made your account, right? To support him, right? Not to get noticed. But it would be nice to get noticed. So for your account, you shouldn't delete or be discouraged that he doesn't see you. He appreciates all of his fans and all the hard work that they put into their edits, their drawings, poems, stories, accounts, photos, and a simple like on a photo is not going to make it change. I understand that people might get mad because some are more fortunate than others, but that is the reason why I made this scrapbook for you guys. I mean, what much else am I supposed to do? I can't help that I went to meet him, that he knew me. I'm just like you guys. I just met him, and you just happen to know my name. And you might be upset because you worked maybe harder than I have. And maybe you do deserve it. But it's no reason to be mad about it. It's more reason to make you try harder. I'm still gonna do me. I'm still going to be the same person I am now. So nothing you say is going to change my way of